a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. I'm Batman, and I'm a ninja.
And I'm here with Hotshot and Murel. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
It's fine, thanks.
I'm so excited about this topic. What are we talking about today, Hotshot?
We're talking about the ninja that is Batman. I'm using this because it's my category. And it's also going to destroy my throat.
So we're talking about Ninja Batman, a anime Batman movie, which, frankly, I'm just happy we get some of the superhero shit in here.
I am so excited about talking this movie specifically. I watched it over the summer. It came out in 2018. Obviously, spoilers abound about the movie, so if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it, come back to this episode. Or if you just don't want to watch it and want to know what happens, sort of, and get our thoughts, keep watching. Batman gets dropped in feudal Japan via time travel, and it's a mess, and a hot mess that I enjoy, and there are so many talking points, and Murel is here with us, so I just want to start straight up. What were your initial takes on the movie, guys? Whoever wants to go first.
It's great that they actually ended up doing time travel without the Flash. Am I right? It's not like Flashpoint, but it brings us back to an era that they didn't have, like, literally anything like this, right?
Right.
Like, they didn't have Superman, they didn't have Wonder Woman to deal with all the problems. They just had normal people. Mm-hmm. And then all these villains just kind of nowhere, and they end up taking over by going after all, like, different states, right?
Right.
And of course we know the big bad at the end and stuff, right? Blah, blah, blah. But, like, it all came together in a great way where, especially of how it started and stuff, right? Like,
definitely.
Gorilla Grodd wanted all of the villains there to debut his machine, but he added his own ulterior motive and stuff, right?
Definitely.
And
to me, this movie was so weird, but it just felt right. Do you know what I mean, Hotshot? Like, why is Batman in an anime? But also the battles are super awesome.
I mean, it's something that you don't typically think about, but at the same time, it's a medium that makes sense because Batman is a beloved superhero, a lot like Spider-Man. Like, some people really like DC, but other people like only like Batman. And for him to be the most widespread, it makes sense for him to be over the most media.
Right.
As far as him being in this movie in particular, when I first watched it, I really enjoyed it, and I think it really is the novelty that it is Batman, and it is an anime, and that alone did it for me, and then the battles were awesome and everything else. But for some reason, watching it back this time, because I've seen it once before doing this, watching it back for this episode, it didn't really hit me as hard as it did the first time.
Right. And I understand what you mean. Just in a general sense, how did you guys feel about... were you at all confused that there was an anime Batman? Like, prior to even watching it, to me, that threw me off. But I think the movie stands still, it's pretty good. So just in a general sense, how did you guys feel about the concept of that?
I wasn't surprised at all, frankly.
Really?
Mainly because, I've said off podcast, I thought there was an anime Batman that I spoke of before that I thought was crap. But it wasn't this. It was something else. I don't know what it was. I never figured that out, but it wasn't this. But there are anime adaptations of other beloved comic characters, like Iron Man has his own anime, X-Men have an anime, I want to say Spider-Man has his own anime.
Really?
And,
Spider-Man anime?
So there's a lot of superhero, a lot of westernized heroes that have their own anime, but I think Batman is the only one in DC that does. But overall, I'm not really surprised he actually made it. He finally made his way over there.
Right. I understand what you mean. I wanted to go directly into something that you brought up in the Google Docs Hotshot. For me, the best part, and it kind of ties into one of my points, so it's a bit of a 2-for-1 here. That final battle, and I know it's kind of reversed to start with the final battle at the beginning of the podcast, but to me, it was the best part of the movie. That Batman versus Joker sword fight was so epic, and the music was great, and the animation was great, and the character designs, the facial expression, and just everything put together functioned so well, with the bats going crazy everywhere. I loved it. absolutely love the final battle, and that was my favorite moment. What was a moment that stood out to you, the best part for you, Hotshot?
Honestly, you're right on it. The final battle.
Yeah.
The final battle is my favorite part because it's my two favorite characters battling out pretty much to the death because it's a full-on samurai style level fight. And it was just awesome to see that for like a good 5-10 minutes. It felt like a Dragon Ball Z fight of just like it being stretched out.
Absolutely.
And that's absolutely what I loved. And the fact that most of the time when you see Batman versus Joker like in a hand-to-hand fight, Batman absolutely destroys Joker. But in this one there was actually blows being traded. Like Joker actually got some hits and some fatal hits onto Bats and vice versa. And dang it, there was one part of the final battle.
It was the sword scene.
No, I know what scene it was. There was one particular point in the battle that I'm thinking of, and I can't. My brain's.
It was the scene where Hiyamaki gets stabbed, and Batman seems to be falling down, but really it was probably one of the other followers.
Oh, actually, wait. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. So it was the scene where he got stabbed and just poofed like a shadow clone into millions of bats. And then just all of a sudden, Batman knows ninjutsu. He's floating there in the air with the rest of the bats, doing hand signs the whole 9 yards and substitutions for days. It was just a little, I don't know if a little much is the right way to put it, but it was still funny. That part was more funny than epic to me. Like, not to say it wasn't epic, but it more so like, okay, Batman knows ninjutsu now. Great, cool.
Right? No, it was very
it's
weird.
It's probably because everything else is so grounded in somewhat reality, at least on Batman's level. And then all of a sudden, because jutsu is basically magic, like in terms of Naruto and stuff like that, because here are these characters that can make clones or fireballs or anything like that. So out of nowhere, the character that relies mostly on tech and is like highly trained even of himself is just doing hand signals and just making people appear out of bats.
Right. Absolutely. It was just a new evolution of Batman and a new version of him. I want to kind of get into the transformations of Batman, and Murel has some great points that were written in the Google document. So Murel, let's maybe go down the line really with your points and just intro them for us and to let us know what thoughts you want from
yes, like how did Batman's tech transform in one swift move kind of thing? Like during the scene where he actually gets the Batcar and stuff from his what's his name, Alfred, right?
From Alfred, right?
From Alfred, yeah,
and stuff like that. And luckily, he was actually in the car when they time traveled and stuff, right?
Right.
Like Alfred, he's good in like many different versions of Alfred. He's the one that makes all the tech and stuff, right?
Right.
Like Ben Affleck's and stuff. He's the one that helps making all of the like the communication devices, like literally everything for Ben Affleck's Batman and stuff.
So
and unlike Christian Bale's Affleck, they had the Morgan guy, the Morgan Freeman's character and stuff, right? But like going back to the tech itself, it's just like within one swift move of one button, it transformed from a car into a plane and then into a motorbike.
Hey, that's the power of Batman. Batman's got a Batmobile. Batman's got a car. Batman's got a plane. It's got a train. It's just the swiftness of it is just part of the magic. But to me, it kind of brings to the point. I enjoyed the fact that Batman was in a less tech-based environment. I'm thinking of like Batman Beyond, like the new version of Batman. I'm currently watching that series just because I dove deep back into childhood, and I just remember I forgot how tech-based Batman was, how his cave and everything. I just thought it was a guy in a suit just kicking a lot of butt. But no, he's very tech-based. But seeing him in an environment where there's not as much technology and he kind of has to like adapt to feudal Japan was very cool to me. But yeah, I mean, the swift movement of it all is just Batman magic. That's the way I interpreted it.
Well, yeah. But also plus like the only time that we've actually seen something swiftly move that fast, right, from transforming
No.
is in Iron Man and stuff in the Marvel universe with the nanotech.
I guess.
So he probably has his own
yeah.
kind of type of nanotech and stuff like that. And somehow, like, they, even though, like, yeah, they were transported back in time within seconds, right, from each other, they were years from each other, right? Because Catwoman, she got transported within a few seconds, but that was 2 years of their life, right?
Yeah, it was. And sorry to backtrack on you real quick, Murel. The tech thing, that's explained. That's not nanotech. That's actually all jammed into the Batmobile.
Oh.
Because they're all modes that he can access in the Batmobile. He does it
Power of Batman. He
does it in Dark Knight too, where the tumbler gets destroyed, but then out pops the bat bike. He condenses everything into, because Batman's whole thing is being prepared for anything. So true. If he, like, when we even first see the Batmobile, the first thing he does is drive it underwater, and then he's known to have the Batwing. So they just make the Batwing into the Batmobile. And then when the Batwings get pierced, he ejects the Batbike into it, which is basically just the cockpit of the Batmobile. Mm-hmm. So it's just all of these things put into one car.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So all the parts are always there. It's not a nanotech thing or anything. It's just Batman being prepared.
I wanted to maybe jump to something else here. Just out of 10, Hotshot and Murel, the storyline, like specifically the concept of taking Batman, making him a ninja in feudal Japan via time travel, the battle with Joker, the struggles with the other side characters, because we get a little bit of, we see like callbacks to like Penguin and Bane and stuff like that with like these little characters here and there. What were your thoughts on the storyline? Like out of 10, what would you rate it?
I'd say like 6 personally.
Okay. What about you, Murel?
7.3. 7.3.
Yeah, I think it was all right. Is the way I felt about it. But in all, the one thing, like the one character for me that really made it worth it was Joker. I think Joker was well done, well represented. And if there was one Batman villain that you were gonna throw into an anime, I'm glad they made Joker the main one. You know, I would have been weird if Penguin was the main one to me. Like, this just makes sense because it's the bitterest, most obvious Batman rivalry. So the film does that very well, in my opinion. But at the same time, I was wondering, what were your thoughts on having Joker being the main character, the main villain, in that film, Hotshot and Murel?
I mean, it makes sense because, like I was saying earlier, that a lot of people can either love all of DC or just love Batman.
Right.
A lot of people's favorite Batman villain is Joker because that's his biggest villain. That's the one he's most well known for. So if you're going to do something big, probably have something to do with Joker in there.
Right.
Like the what's the actor's name? The Christian Bale movies, for instance. Like, yeah, they did Scarecrow and Ra's first and then Joker. The one with Joker is the best one out of the 3. And like that's just wildly spread and wildly accepted because Joker happens to be everyone's favorite Batman villain, or at least mostly.
Right.
It's about the story and having the main characters and stuff, right?
Right.
But they could have also had like not like a minor villain, but like somewhere in between the minor and major villains to actually have like their time to shine during the whole movie itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like like Grodd is there and stuff, but he's more of a Flash villain and stuff because they were made at Flash Labs and stuff. So I'm not really sure why they put him in. Like, yeah, he's smart, but there's many more other smart DC villains of Batman, right?
Right.
That could have made the machine that teleported him back.
Like, it could have been an Enigma thing,
yeah.
for instance.
Yeah.
It was weird. It was weird for me to see Grodd be like the one to kickstart this whole thing. But what's weirder to me, and one of the reasons that I say it's like a 6 out of 10, is because, yeah, as much as we hear about the other villains taking over the other parts of the country, we barely see any of them until the final battle where they're all in mechs. And like, that's the only time we see each other. Like, each one of them has like maybe 5 lines throughout the entire movie, and that's it. And it's like, okay, so we have like 6 of Batman's biggest villains, and basically they just say, no, I'm defeated, and that's it. They're done. And it really sucks because I love the designs of most of their armor. Like, I really love Deathstrokes and I really love Ivy's, but we barely got to see them.
Right, absolutely. Like, the thing is, Grodd was a good kickstarting point for sure, I guess you know what? No, this is. I'm gonna switch my idea. On paper, this was cool. You know, this whole idea is cool. But for me, I was confused why we had mecha and mechs and all these just technology-based things and robots and whatever, however you want to describe it, in feudal Japan. Like, I don't know. That just threw me off. That didn't blend well for me. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Because the director was a fan of Voltron.
Yeah.
Is that fact?
I want to believe that is fact. I'm pretty sure it is, because you literally had all of them merge into one big robot at the end of it. Like, they were a fan of Voltron or Power Rangers or something. But, like, it could have been way different, but instead we just go the campy Power Rangers route. And it's just like, okay, but why, though?
I'm doing a quick Google search. The director is Mizusaki Junpei. I believe I might be saying that incorrectly, but that's how I'm pronouncing it. Anyways, the director, I'm doing a quick search of their name with Voltron, and no mention of Voltron, Hotshot.
I said I want to believe. I never said it was actual fact.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I don't know if this person is a fan of Voltron. I guess maybe it's just like a sideswipe kind of thing. I don't know. Like, to me, oh, wait. I just think I found something. Okay, interview with the director, and the question they were asked was, what kind of anime did you watch, and did it influence your acting? I don't watch nearly enough. I know it's strange thing to say, but I don't have a TV. I grew up with old school anime like Voltron.
There you are.
That's amazing. Oh my god. Is this an interview with the director? It's someone involved with the film. You know what? Yeah, there is Voltron influence. You can't deny that. What about the horses, guys? What about Batman on a horse?
See, no, that makes sense. He's ridden horses before.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw Batman riding a horse.
Yeah, because you don't comic dive.
Oh, so in movies he's on a horse? I'm much more of a movie.
In movies,
like,
I don't think so, but in comics he has ridden horses. He's ridden horses, ridden bikes, he's ridden go-karts, he's basically he's driven a spaceship. He's done pretty much anything.
All right, Hotshot, I'm gonna
Batman, so
rapid fire. I'm gonna rapid fire some Batman questions for you real quick, because you are a Batman nerd and we have
go for it.
Advantage. Okay. Where does this Batman rank amongst all the other Batman in all the comic books and Marvel and Marvel? What am I saying? In DC.
I mean, as far as being a Batman goes, he's pretty high up there. He's pretty loyal to being a Batman.
Okay. Would he be the strongest Batman in terms of strength?
No.
Is he in lower tier Batman?
No. Or lower tier?
Yeah,
with all things considered, yes, he is probably a lower tier Batman.
Okay. What's his biggest strength as a Batman and his biggest weakness as a Batman after watching this?
The biggest strength is him actually relying on his team, because not any Batman does that ever. And his greatest strength, he knows ninjutsu. He can make dozens of clones.
I think you said strength twice, because strength is relying on team.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm sorry. His strength is relying on his team. His greatest flaw is relying too much on his tech, because Batman is a tech-related hero, yes, but he wasn't always and doesn't need tech to win, and he doesn't need to be betrayed by Grodd to know that.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, my last rapid fire question for you is, we saw villains like Penguin, Two-Face, and Bane in this one, like lightly mentioned, and obviously we had Harley as well. If you had to redistribute the villains that were in this anime movies, who would you take out and who would you replace them with if you could?
Okay, so I'd still keep Joker and Harley, because they were the best parts. Yeah. I would keep Ivy, because the plants actually make a hell of a lot of sense in that kind of thing. Yeah. I'd take out Penguin, because seeing penguins in feudal Japan, what the fuck? And I'd probably replace him with, I might replace him with Riddler, actually.
Yeah, actually, Murel, can you look this up for me real quick? Is Riddler in this movie? I don't think
not.
He is.
Riddler is not in this movie at all.
I already know that.
Yeah, he's not in it at all.
He's not even mentioned.
And instead we get Grodd. We get a Flash villain.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Riddler would have been cool for sure in this one.
Two-Face is still pretty cool to have in there. Deathstroke, I mean, I know he's a Batman villain, but honestly, I would have liked to see the League of Assassins. I would have liked to see Raish and Talia.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been something else.
They're like based in Japan anyway. So, or like even going back in time and like the Bat Clan, Like, make that the early stage League of Assassins or something. And, like, have Ra's there, like, when he's 50 for the first time.
For all
You know
we
what I
know
mean?
is that may be of how the League of Assassins actually came about, right?
Actually got started, yeah. But instead of calling it the Bat Clan, just call it We Are the Leagues of Assassins. Because that way new fans and old fans will know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, and it would have been cool to see him actually side by side with Ra's, but not do anything because Ra's hasn't done anything yet. Because then that would have thrown in the conundrum, would Batman stop him from doing his future crimes, or does he wait until he actually commits a crime?
Right. No, I see what you mean. Let's go deeply more into Murel's questions because he has a few more that he brought up. One that you brought up, Murel, that's very interesting to me is about the legend of Batman. How did it start in the film in feudal Japan?
The thing is I
Tell us about
remember when they were talking to the clan's main leader, right?
Right.
Not Batman. I forget his name.
It's never said, I don't
Yeah,
think.
it's never. Yeah, probably not. But he's like, there was a legend. During great peril, a man dressed like a bat would come and save us. And it's like, how far does this go back? Like, was this just made as like a side reference? Like, there's always been a Batman, or was there like a random character, like just a random citizen that went back in time and made the legend kind of thing, right? Because that's what I'm actually thinking.
So I have a theory on that, actually. So we already know that being away from a split second, being sent back in time can lead to multiple years. Catwoman was sent like 5 seconds ahead of Batman. If you look at the grid where Batman first meets Catwoman and says a signal or lost, that's because everyone's being hit in the time loop. Nightwing and Robin are like two of the earliest ones to get hit. So they would have had like 5, 10, maybe 10 years in order to build a legend up about Batman. And like maybe once they found each other, they knew Batman would eventually be there.
Okay, I see what you mean. Interesting take, for sure.
Interesting.
Yeah, to me, the thing is, I'm not enough of a Batman fan to fall into that part of the movie because that it makes reference, right? And it's something that like goes deep into the Batman roots and Batman nerdity. So
you basically see it as they just did this to be a plot of the movie to give Batman his own army.
A little bit, you know what I mean? That's like how it came across for me. But obviously, there's more to it, and I know that. But at the same time, it's a cool callback for sure. It's a cool relation that you can make a cool connection.
Yes,
and that's my theory, at least, because we know Batman was the last one in, and that's why he's the one whose timeline we follow. And everyone else has been there for multiple years.
Mm-hmm. And they're all ninjas.
Yeah.
Okay, and then thoughts on the Red Hood interest scene and the style. I don't recall this.
Okay.
The whole
Murel, you want to go ahead?
Yeah. The style of it's really old-fashioned and everything else. It looks great, right, Hotshot? Like, the style itself, it looks all hand-drawn, basically kind of animated kind of stuff. Not like the rest of the movie and stuff. And I find it's perfect for the Red Hood entrance scene with Harley Quinn and the Joker and stuff like that to symbolize, well, yeah, right then and there, they seem like they're different people, Harley Quinn and the Joker, but in reality, they're not, right? They, I don't want to spoil it, but like, they did something to their own mind to make Batman believe it. And he actually did, so the reason why they did a style change is to give the subtle hint saying, remember this because something's going to happen kind of thing, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it happens right there in the scene, too.
That, too.
Like, right at the end of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think the word you're trying to think of is, it looks like old Japanese paintings.
Yes.
So a flip book of those, really. And, Jaden, do you know the story of Jason Todd at all for Red Hood?
Not at all.
Okay. Well, basically, Joker tortured him for multiple years until the point where Batman thought he was dead and got a new Robin when Jason was still alive.
Oh, wow.
And at that point, Joker pretty much killed Todd. And since then, Todd has wanted revenge on Joker and Harley because of that. So he wants revenge on the torture and everything that was brought upon him. It's a really bare bones version of his story. There's a hell of a lot more to it, but that's why in that scene he lays so hard into believing that this is still Joker and Harley. I don't care how much they've changed. And he's just brutalizing them, even though to the naked eye, they look like innocent farmers.
Okay, I see.
You also forgot the part where he was brought back because of the pit and stuff,
Lazarus pit.
The Lazarus pit.
Yeah.
And it also did make him go crazy. So
yeah, made him go a little nuts. Like, Jason's still in there. He's not as bad as Joker, but yeah, he'll fly off the handles. He's way more of an aggressive Batman than Batman is.
Well, yeah,
okay, I see.
Yeah.
And because Red Hood actually kills.
That too.
What about Catwoman's double cross?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's Catwoman. She plays to her own cards.
Exactly.
Like double cross, she wants to help Batman because she has a loyalty to Batman, but she also wants to get home. She's been in feudal Japan for 2 years, and the one who seemed like would be the closest one to get her home is the one who made the damn machine. So yeah, she'd side with Grodd. But then after that, Grodd said, oh yeah, by the way, I'm actually not doing that. I'm going to stay here. Catwoman was like, I'm going back to Batman. He's trying to get us all home. Fuck you.
Right.
So it makes sense for Catwoman's stance because she has her eyes on a goal and she just wants to be with whoever gets her closest to that goal. And in this instance, it's getting home.
No, I see what you mean. To me, Catwoman's moves, yes, it's very Catwoman-like. And what else would you expect from Catwoman? You know what I mean?
It is about what I'd expect. And
the thing with Catwoman for me, the other thing I want to say about her is that she is a very important part of the Batman storyline. And I think that I understand we were going through who you would replace and who would you put in instead if you could. But they did pretty much get it right in terms of what characters needed to be in the film to make it feel like a Batman movie. You know what I mean?
I would take out Robin and put in Batgirl, just saying. Because
I respectfully disagree, but I see
the only reason is I don't like Damian. I've never liked Damian as a Robin.
Okay. I mean, different takes on that one, right?
All right, fine.
True.
But okay, and let's go to the final bit here. Why did Grodd help Batman and not stay to take over history?
That one, believe it or not, I'm sorry to say, this has a very straightforward answer. Batman saved Grodd's life from almost being killed by Joker. So Grodd was honor bound to help Batman.
Yeah, no, but also plus, come on, they're villains. They can also double cross each other.
They're villains and they can double cross, but Grodd also lives by his own code.
That too.
To where, if you literally save my life, then I am indebted to you. And this is how I repay that debt, is helping you get back.
True. Mm-hmm. But when you think of it, Grodd could also have said, I'm going to help you, but then, I'm
going to help you, but then help me. Yeah, but Batman would still have the upper hand, and Grodd doesn't fight unless he has the upper hand.
That's true, because he is smart and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
it'd make more sense, if, say it happened with Penguin or Joker, because he's like, see, Batman, I got you. But with Grodd, he lives by that kind of code to where he feels like a duty, he repays his debts, basically. He doesn't just piss in the eye of everybody.
True.
Let's get into final thoughts here as we wrap things up for this podcast. For me, this movie was well animated, had good music, had a cool concept, but in practice, there are many things that fell short, which we've discussed over the course of the episode here. But overall, if you're a Batman fan, I don't think it hurts to watch this. That's the way I see it. It's you could. You don't have to, but you could. That's the way I perceive it. What about you guys?
That sounds about right, honestly. If you're a fan of Batman, honestly, you'll like this fine. And hell, for some of you, it may even be your favorite Batman movie, period. Because there are a lot of good things in it. There are a lot of good ideas, and the imagery is gorgeous. But it just... For some people, it just doesn't hit as hard, especially if you watch it more than once. You watch it once and get the novelty, that's going to stay with you for a while. But if you watch it again with that in mind, it's already kind of okay, well, this is missing a lot of stuff. But it doesn't really harm anything. It's not like it's a canon storyline or anything like that. It's a Batman story. You know what you're getting into. You watch Batman. You watch superheroes fight supervillains.
Right. I see what you mean. What about you, Murel?
For me, as all of the animated Batman movies, TV shows, always seem to be all connected and stuff, right? This one didn't have that effect and stuff. It was, you can classify it in as an alternate timeline if you wanted, because they could easily go back, like, go after this, after the events, and create a whole new storyline where Batman is training more people and stuff and actually having, like, an actual army, per se, right, of Batmen helping out instead of just him and his crew and stuff, right? And then also, like, Nightwing also having, like, maybe his own ninja type sidekick and stuff like that, helping him out with whatever he does, right?
Right.
And, like, there's so many avenues that they can go about after those events. Like Gorilla Grodd actually helping Batman out from time to time and not being looked at as a full-on villain, as an anti-hero or anti-villain, whatever you want to call it, right?
Right.
Where he does bad, but he also does good and stuff. Like, let's say...
Kind of like Magneto.
Yeah, definitely kind of like Magneto, especially within the new timeline and stuff, right, that they have for him, right?
Right, absolutely.
And yeah, that's what it...
Perfect. All right, so for the podcast, you can subscribe to us in your favorite podcatcher. Just go over to whatever podcast listener that you go to listen to your podcast and look up Anime Podcasters. You can also follow the podcast over on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All links will be in the description. You can take the survey in the description to give us your thoughts on the episodes that we do. You can leave us a message and a voicemail on speakpipe.com/anime podcasters. And the artwork for the podcast is done by GoProKyo. He does all of the art. He is fantastic, and he's available for commission. All of his links are in the description. For myself, I am at JaianMusic on social media. My website is JaianMusic.com. You can see all of my projects that I'm doing over there. Freelance audio engineer, available for hire. And if you were recently on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/JaianMusic, you would see that I have completed 28 days straight of anime covers every single day. I've covered songs from Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Inuyasha, Cowboy Bebop, the list goes on and on, Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had a great time doing it. So if you want to go check those out, they're all going to be on my channel, on my Spotify, everywhere else. The listens have been going up crazy over there, and I appreciate all of that. So a big thank you to all of the supporters. And you can also subscribe to my other podcast, Soundspace, where we interview audio people and we discuss their journey in the world of sound. And it's a really great conversation that I do with another co-host called Anthony Catchy. Hotshot, where can people find you?
You guys can go ahead and find me right here on the JaianMusic YouTube channel at the Anime Podcasters playlist, and wherever podcasts are heard, wherever you find us. And you guys can also find me over on my channel, Hotshot Ginger, where we've taken a bit of a hiatus, but we do plan on getting back to the sister podcast of here, of PonsuCast, where there might be an episode or two where we throw Murel into there too. So you guys might see him on more platforms. And you guys can also see me over on Twitch at Hotshot Ginger. I promise I am alive over there. And I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to get back to it, but I am trying to get back up and playing my games, hang out with you guys. So come on by, say hi. And I'm on Twitter at Hotshot Ginger, and that's about it.
Perfect. Murel, where can people find you?
You can find me on my new Facebook channel, my new Facebook group and stuff, at Murel.Vimpulse. Vimpulse used to be my name. And that area links everyone to my YouTube, to my TikTok, to my Instagram, to my whatever else I'm going to make in the future.
Perfect. All right. So for myself, Hotshot, and Murel,
this has been another episode of Anime Ninja Batman Podcasters. Bye, guys.
Bye.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman. I'm also Batman.
I am the Joker.
No, I'm Batman.
No, I'm Batman.
Bowser.
I am no. I'm
Bye.
I am the Batman.
bye.
Bye.